This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store Forged Irish Stout. Delighted to be here, joined at the weigh-in. We'll conclude the weigh-in with Frank Warren. It's all done now. Tomorrow night we are going to see 5v5. How are you, mate?
I'm good, Lou. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I mean, it's a fabulous card, very competitive fights, as we all know. And over the last 2 days, watching these guys do their face-offs, I mean, seeing how they all are, but with these face-offs, they're so intense. Yeah. I mean, you know, over the years, I've seen these lots of time. Each one of them, no one's giving an inch. You know, they're so confident. Each fighter's so confident and believes in themselves, which means you're going to get some fabulous fights out of this.
I was going to say, what did you make of, I suppose, the face-off? Ammo Williams coming in like the sort of Native American, he had the tail on. It's like, it all builds up hype, doesn't it?
It's all good, and he's got his way of getting himself hyped up, you know, with a tiger's tail, whatever it is he's got on his headdress. In the end of the day, when they get in the ring, they can just have their shorts and their boxing gloves on, and they get down in it. And that's where we're going to see some real good quality fights, no doubt about it.
Obviously, we talked about the hype of this and the build-up, and we've had 3 back-to-back big events in a row. Obviously, you had Undisputed, Taylor Catterall, and now this is sort of like the last one. How do you feel like sort of the fight week build-up has been? Do you still feel like the buzz is there, even though having so much in such a short amount of time?
Well, listen, they've been. I mean, that last fight here was the biggest fight of the 21st century, with the biggest heavyweight fight, the 4 belts on the line, and it goes down. You know, Ring of Fire in Riyadh goes down with a rumble in the jungle, goes down with a Through Manila. It was a fabulous fight, 2 guys giving everything. This is a great concept, and from starting back when we, you know, in October when we come here, you look what's developed over the last 7 months. This is now the fight capital of the world. We are in Riyadh, in the fight capital world. Riyadh season special events, His Excellency's team, Seller, all of us working together to deliver these events. This is something extra special, and for me, it's a privilege to be part of it. And tomorrow night, we are going to see a burster of a fight card. This is a fight fan's dream. Every fight. I'm looking at some of the choices and the pundits, how they're predicting the outcome, and the outcome can vary because of the way this is set up with a point scoring and so forth. So, you know, this for me is excitement at every level.
Another added incentive for Philip Hrgovic versus Daniel Dubois. The IBF interim title is on the line. Obviously, people expected the IBF to be vacant. So, what is the situation as it stands there?
Vacant because at the moment nobody could strip Usyk. He could be ordered to take the fight, and he's decided to trigger the rematch clause. But he's suspended. So, whilst he's suspended, and that's 2 weeks ago since the fight. So. He was suspended, I think, 45 days, so he's probably got another 30 days before any decision's made about it.
Absolutely. And you mentioned there about sort of Saudi and Riyadh being the home of boxing. And it brings me on, obviously, a sort of positive conversation, as we mentioned earlier, with Simon Jordan and Turki Al-Sheikh. The show after that, on the day after, him and Jim White were talking about sort of their conversation. And Simon had a lot of positive things to say about Saudi Arabia, and he was sort of heavily complimented. But he was talking about his main concern being sort of the damage of the ecosystem of boxing, where sort of it. But it's just
nonsense. Why? Explain to me the damage. You know, I don't get it. We're getting big fights at prime time in the UK. There's 2 hours difference. Otherwise, you'd be sitting up in the morning to what? 5, 6 o'clock in the morning waiting some of these fights. That's a nonsense. Plus the fact, look at the events we announced last week. That we've announced. That Matchroom have announced. That Boxer have announced. Look at what's going to happen at Wembley on the 21st of September. How has this damaged it? It's improved the ecosystem. Boxing's never been so hot. It's just really... I don't get that. I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, but that opinion is absolutely not unjustified.
I think the point he's making is, as we see in football, when you see like how much the transfer market's driven up through big signings, that's the worry when you see big money being spent. Like,
let me tell you, all the big players, when I was growing up, they all went to Italy or went to Spain, and they still do. Where's Bellingham play? Where did Beckham go? Where did they all go? Where did the Rumble in the Jungle take place? Zaire. Where did the Thriller of Manila take place? Philippines. Iconic fights. It's just a ridiculous comment. Did that hurt boxing? It livened the heavyweight division up back then, and the heavyweight division's livened up. And we've got a big heavyweight fight coming up on the 21st of September. So that is just a comment that is, it's just unsustainable.
So no concern for yourself that the level of domestic, or what's happening in the UK?
How can it be? Where was you last week?
Where was I last week? I was in Poland, actually. Well, but obviously I should have been at Taylor Catterall, yeah. Yeah.
Great fight. You was there, you know, well, you weren't there, but a great fight. It happened in the UK. The fights were happening. Where does the Nui fight? In Japan. The fights are happening there. Where does in America? There's big fights going on there. You know, this has just become the centre of boxing. This is it's taken from Vegas to here. When I grew up, when I was a kid, watching fights, watching British guys, if they won world titles, within 1 or 2 fights, off they went to New York or to Vegas to defend their titles. That's where they made their money. That's what they did. Footballers go off abroad. Now we've got a strong Premier League. Players are coming into the UK, but a lot of players are going abroad. Still go abroad. Quality players. That's sportsmen. They have short lives. They make their money. And what is happening here, I can't bang on enough about it. It was a game changer. I said it was a game changer. It's changed boxing completely. This is the world capital of boxing, Riyadh season. That's now the capital of boxing. But it's that ripple effect everywhere else. That these other big fights are happening. Great fights, great shows. We've got a fabulous summer of shows. And you're going to love the show at Wembley. It's going to be a big, big show. And there's others all the way through to the end of the year. We have to still deliver to our respective broadcasters big fights. But the good thing that's come out of this is we are cooperating. You know, Matchroom, Queensbury are cooperating to deliver fights, and we're working together, and we're going to make them happen. So how can any of this be bad for boxing? The ecosystem's improved. You know why? Because the fighters are earning more money. They're the guys who've got these short careers who get in the ring, and in the most dangerous of sport. And you go back 2 weeks ago, look at those 2 guys, what they give in there, what they had to do, you know, how they fought their hearts out in fights that can change your life in the future. What I mean by that, they can, you know, they can have a little effect on your life. That's so they should get what they're getting and more. And because of what's happening here in Riyadh, that's what's going on. Look how competitive this show is. Look at these guys, how much they're all up for it. This is not like a normal fight where, I mean, they are all in each other's face because they want to go to the next stage. They want to be on the next big show. They want to be back in the UK. They want to go to the States as champion. They want to come back here. And why wouldn't you want to come back here?
Definitely, and I apologise if this has been asked before, because it's been a question that a lot of people have asked over the last couple of weeks. And obviously we saw yesterday Anthony Yarde pull out of the WBO interim light heavyweight title fight against Joshua Boazzi. Obviously an ongoing contractual dispute. Well, I think it's looking like he's going to pull out. I think they've let the WBO know. 72
hours yesterday, so he's got 2 days left. I hope he doesn't do that. You know, this thing's all been about money, amongst other things. And for me, a purse bid tells you your true worth, because it's out in the open market where anybody wants to bid, they bid. But you know, I just hope that some common sense will prevail, because I know he's going to look back on this in, you know, it won't be years to come, probably in a year or 2 years, and think, what is going on here? He's being badly advised.
And I'll say that, like, is there a lot of disappointment from your part? Because the common sense and the general opinion would be like, you know, Frank's done a great job for Yarde, and he's probably one of the best promoted fighters. So to see this sort of come to a bit of a head must be a bit on a personal level.
It is, but we've done a lot for each other. We were a good team and we worked together. And it's just a shame. I mean, I've not fallen out. I'm not in a row or anything. In fact, the last text we exchanged was very friendly, and I have a lot of respect and admiration for him, for what he's done and what he is as a person. But at the moment, we are where we are. I can't change it. We have a position. We both have our respective positions as far as the contracts are concerned. But I don't know what his plan B is. I don't know, or not his plan B. I don't know what his management's plan B is.
Definitely. So the final one from myself, Frank. Are you going to be running home with the $3 million tomorrow night when you beat Eddie Hearn?
Well, that's what we're here for. We're here to win. I mean, the money's great and that, and we're here to win, and we'll be, you know, working out a charitable donation, some substantial charitable donation from that, and that's what we're here for. You know, when this concept was put together, it was all about, you know, who's going to win this, and what is the carrot for the winners.
Absolutely, Frank. Thank you for taking time to speak to you. All the best tomorrow. Appreciate it. Thank you.